Windsor is back on top, but not in a good way.
We are very much, the canary in the coal mine on the trade dispute with the U.S.
Once again, the city has the highest unemployment rate in Canada. Island decline.
Basically, the island is being choked.
Low water levels and river dirt are changing the landscape of Peche Island and leaving visitors disappointed. And a greener goodbye is coming to Chatham-Kent soon. A new type of cremation uses water, not fire.
There's no carbon emissions, and it's so much better for the environment.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us, and hello to those listening to us on AM 800. Windsor once again ranks as Canada's most unemployed city. With the breakdown from the latest jobs report tonight is, of course, CTV's Ricardo Vanessa. Ricardo.
Yeah, Stefanie, Statistics Canada puts Windsor's unemployment rate at 11.2%. The only other city in the country to reach a double-digit jobless figure was Peterborough. Now, if you're wondering why, Workforce Windsor Essex head Justin Faulkner points squarely to the U.S.-launched trade war. The StatsCan June report was surprisingly strong for much of the country, with the national figures showing 10,000 manufacturing jobs were added despite the decline in the Windsor area. And the national jobless rate was ticking down to 6.9%, with 83,000 jobs added overall last month. Now, Windsor saw modest gains in retail and wholesale trade, scientific and professional technical services, as well as finance, insurance, and real estate. But there were much bigger declines in health and social services, transportation, and, as we mentioned, in manufacturing. Faulkner says the report highlights the exposure Windsor Essex has to the trade war compared to the rest of Canada, with essentially twice as many jobs here reliant on American trade.
At this point, we are very much, the canary in the coal mine on the trade dispute with the U.S. A year ago in 2024, we were experiencing sort of, record-setting sort of employment gains as well as population growth. And right now, since February, we've seen those decline. So it's a completely different job and labor market today.
Now, to underline that change, Faulkner says underlying numbers that once provided a silver lining as the region registered record employment in the lead-up to the U.S. presidential election. Even as the jobless figure remained stubbornly high, he says that's now been obliterated. And also, I can add, Stefanie, as well, the 48-month streak of population growth also ended in this last report.
Okay, Ricardo, thank you for this. A Windsor police officer facing 4 counts of sexual assault is one step closer to a verdict. Final submissions were presented in provincial court today. The officer, who has been on paid leave throughout the trial, now awaits the judge's decision in the coming days. The Special Investigations Unit laid charges against Staff Sergeant Ken Price, 4 counts of sexual assault against a former female auxiliary force member who cannot be named due to a publication ban. He is accused of a number of alleged incidents, including sniffing her hair, grabbing her behind, pressing his body against hers, and dry humping her during a training exercise between the years 2011 and 2015. The defense reiterating today Price denies any wrongdoing, and that this case is based on credibility, reliability, and accuracy, which he says the complainant did not show, saying she gave unreliable evidence in totality. But the Crown disagrees, saying the complainant's evidence is consistent, unshaken, and detailed. The Crown reminding the court the complainant started volunteering at the department in 2009 and left in 2015 due to the trauma she experienced from interacting with Price and her fear of running into him again. He ended his submission by referencing a case that states myths and stereotypes against sexual assault victims are still common. Judgment is expected next Wednesday. An American man serving a life sentence for killing a Windsor mother has been denied an appeal. Detroiter Jitesh Bogle was 31 years old in December of 2022 when he was convicted by a Windsor jury of first-degree murder. On June 10th of 2018, he suffocated 31-year-old Autumn Taggart in her University Avenue apartment, killing her. Bogle didn't know Taggart when he scaled up the wall and let himself into her home. Her son was there at the time. Vogel testified at the 7-week trial to doing cocaine in the city after partying with friends in Detroit. His appeals lawyer argued the judge did not let the jury consider a defense of extreme intoxication and that the judge and Crown Counsel improperly instructed the jury about expert evidence on how long it would take for a person to be suffocated to death. The Court of Appeal dismissed the arguments this year, in part because Vogel's lawyer at trial did not object to the jury's instructions from the judge, nor did they object to the Crown's closing arguments back in 2022. Vogel is eligible to apply for parole in 2046. An Amherstburg man has been charged with sexual assault of a minor. On July 10th, OPP arrested 46-year-old Christopher Chumko, and charged him with sexual assault on a person under the age of 16 and sexual interference. CBSA confirms Chumko is an employee of the Canada Border Services Agency and says they are cooperating with OPP. Now to a serious crash on Manning Road in Tecumseh last night. Provincial police say a driver had to be extricated after their car crashed into a ditch. They were taken to hospital with serious injuries. Manning Road was closed between County Road 22 and Baseline Road into the evening. Investigators say no other vehicles were involved in the crash. Windsor Fire reports one person was seriously injured, suffering second and third degree burns in a house fire yesterday on Dougal Avenue outside of the city core. Officials say a kitchen fire caused an estimated $80,000 in damage. 300 drivers for a vet's cab may have avoided the picket line after a tentative deal was reached. Unifor Local 195 President Emil Nabout says the company and the union worked through the night and came to a tentative agreement. Earlier this week, employees voted 96.5% in favor of strike action. Members will vote on the tentative deal on Sunday, July 13th. CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joins us now from the Weather Center tonight. Good evening, Julie.
Good evening, Stephanie. It's going to be a hot weekend. We have a heat warning in effect in through Essex County, stretching Chatham-Kent, Sarnia, Lambton, and east towards London and northeast towards the GTA. Temperatures are expected to be extremely hot. This will be a multi-day heat event in terms of daytime highs, approaching that warning criteria, but it'll really be the humidity that you notice, feeling like 35 to 42 in the coming days. Tomorrow will be the hottest day over the next 7. It's been hot and humid across the area. We've had scattered showers and a few thunderstorms moving through. That put the brakes on our temperature early, but not the humidity. You can see this line that pushed across Essex County. We get back into the sunshine and wow, do you really feel that moisture heading through the late evening. Still the risk for scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of hours. Temperature will drop to 22 by midnight with light winds. Probability of storms as we push toward midnight, about a 40% chance. Coming up, I'll take you through the weekend forecast. We'll look at an unsettled Saturday, but definitely not a wash. If you like it hot, this forecast is for you. I'll have your weekend weather coming up.
It started as a pilot program at one city park and proved successful. Now the program is growing. Windsor SUI program, short for supervised, is expanding to 9 more parks this summer. The program originally launched at Mitchell Park last July, bringing city recreational programming and activities directly into underrepresented areas of the community. Kids can enjoy sports, arts, and games at various parks across the city, all supervised by recreation staff. SUI programs are offered from 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. You can find the list of dates and locations on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Programming at Mitchell Park is offered every day, and starting this Sunday and running through to the end of the month, it will also be at Micmac Park, Lansbury Park, and Fontainebleau Park as well. It's a popular summer escape, but some visitors to Peche Island say the paradise is losing its luster. Dropping water levels and dirt from the river being pushed into the canal, leaving many disappointed with what they found. Bob Belichico took a trip to the island to see the problem firsthand. Bob joins us now. Bob, what exactly did you see?
Hi, Stephanie. Good evening, everyone. As you can see behind me, this canalway here has turned into somewhat of a pseudo beach. Now, there's a Facebook group of about 200 people that are calling for this waterway to be dredged to allow the water flow to go under the bridge once again. They feel that the lack of water flow under this bridge is suffocating this part of the island.
It hurts me a lot to see that it's being damaged.
Like many, Howard Weeks enjoys kayaking to Peche Island, but he doesn't like what he's seeing when he arrives. Here's a before picture of people kayaking under a legacy bridge. Here's what it looks like now.
There's no water flow, and basically the island is being choked.
Weeks started a Save Peche Island Facebook page earlier this week. He has heard comments, people saying the kayakers are being selfish because they can't enjoy the island like they once did.
I don't know if you'd call it selfish to be concerned about the wildlife and the environment and damage to the environment, as you can see it with your own eyes.
He points out there are waterways elsewhere on the island, so while it would be nice to continue kayaking through this area, he's more interested in the bigger cause.
I don't know about you, but I like little animals. I like fish. I like birds and swans and all kinds of things.
The city completed work on and around the bridge in 2021, which many feel led to the water cutoff.
Certainly in water, there's all those additional added layers. Like I said, the different agencies, both regional, provincial, and federal that are involved. So we made sure everything was done properly.
It's a little canal into the island, and there's no upstream drainage area to have water force its way through or push its way through to erode out this material that's been pushed in naturally by the lake.
IRCA CAO Tim Burney says lake levels have played a factor and explains natural lake processes have pushed material like small polished round cobble into canals and other areas.
It's not actually a river. The water that's pushed in there by the lake, the only reason it flows back out is when wind events on the lake are favorable to allow outflow to occur.
Burney says nothing can be done right now because federal authorities would never allow a major disruption during fish habitat season.
Fish habitat is not just fish. It's amphibians, frogs, it's the benthic environment, it's the whole picture, it's mussels. It's all of those things. And so then you have to do those assessments before you do this type of work.
So Tim Burney says that the issue is currently at a stalemate, but he will be reaching out to senior levels of government to assess the current situation and then contact city administration to figure out next steps. Stephanie?
Okay, thank you, Bob. So here's our question of the day. Have you been to Peche Island? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked who you thought should be responsible for costs related to nesting habitats. Out of almost 700 votes, 50% say the province. The other half of the votes are split evenly, 50-50, between the municipality and the property owner. A new option for end-of-life care is coming to Chatham, and it's the first of its kind in southwestern Ontario. Aquamation, a water-based alternative to cremation. As CTV's Chris Campbell explains, it's a gentler, more environmentally friendly way to say goodbye. Chris.
Stephanie, the simplest way to explain it is instead of using fire to burn the body and create ashes, the body is gently broken down using water. Life Transition says the demand for greener end-of-life choices is growing, and this is a licensed and legal alternative. The Chatham-based funeral home says it's proud to be the first in the region to make it available.
It looks like a cross between a hospital appliance and a hot water tank, but what happens inside is far more unique.
The process itself replaces flame with water. So instead of a flame breaking down a person's remains to a basic element, water does that work.
Water with some help from an alkaline solution. Funeral home founders James and Leanne McNeil say aquamation costs about the same as cremation, but it's a greener choice. They say cremation releases hundreds of kilograms of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere per person.
If you did a search on what's the most environmentally safe or prudent way to take care of a deceased human body, it would be alkaline hydrolysis.
There's no carbon emissions, and it's so much better for the environment. So it just seems better all the way around.
The process became legal in the province in 2014.
For myself, the idea of fire did not sit well with me. Now with this, the option of water, it sits better with me. It seems a little more gentle.
Aquamation is regulated by the Bereavement Authority of Ontario, which oversees funeral, burial, and cremation services in the province. The BAO tells CTV News there are 5 licensed alkaline hydrolysis facilities in Ontario: Arnprior, Peterborough, Newcastle, Whitby, and Kingston.
I like it. I like water better than fire, let's put it that way. But I'm dead, so who cares?
I already paid my funeral. I want to go in a casket.
In my opinion, they're dead. Whatever way works for them, works for them. If they want to go, I guess, the old school way with normal cremation, go normal cremation. If, they want to do the new high-tech way, by all means, suit themselves, right?
The McNeils say they've already had several families show interest, but they won't be operational until the end of July.
There's never, in Chatham-Kent, there's never once been a crematorium. So we've thought, let's change that, and we're actually going to jump over traditional cremation and move right to what we believe is the future with the water.
This will be the 6th one in the province and the first one in this region.
Culturally, we've been moving away from full burial.
While Life Transitions is the first funeral home in southwestern Ontario to offer Aquamation, there is another one close behind. A funeral home in Sarnia is in the process of setting up similar technology. The McNeils say they expect more funeral homes across the province will soon follow suit. Stephanie?
Interesting. Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. And staying with the effects of water, the Windsor Essex County Health Unit has closed another beach. The E. coli counts at Holiday Beach are really high, reaching 1,000. Colchester Beach and Cedar Beach have posted warnings. The health unit warning those beaches are unsafe for swimming. Cedar Island Beach, despite being right next door to Cedar Beach, is open. Access to the water at Sandpoint Beach has been closed permanently due to the risk of drowning. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, trade chaos and confusion for Canadian businesses as Donald Trump vows to strike Canada with a major new tariff. Digital deception. Scam texts are getting smarter. AI is helping fraudsters fool your phone. When we return, how to protect yourself from fraud at your fingertips. And Monday, major traffic changes, filling the Ward 2 vacancy and active transportation. City Council tackles some big issues. That's Monday at 6 on CTV News. Prime Minister Mark Carney is weighing Canada's next move after a surprise tariff threat from Donald Trump, 35% on Canadian goods starting August 1st. CTV's Colton Prale has more on the latest curveball.
After weeks of pushing for a trade deal, Canada is staring down an even bigger threat.
Frankly, the friends have been worse than the foes in many cases.
President Donald Trump now says he'll put in place 35% tariffs beginning August 1st. The White House says it wouldn't apply to energy tariffs or goods covered by the free trade agreement. But the president hasn't confirmed that.
We're going to see. It was sent yesterday. They called. I think it was fairly well received, but it's what we need. So we'll see what happens.
While some critics say the Liberals need to follow through on the elbows up mantra, Ottawa argues it is.
Canada is the only country on earth, along with China, that has imposed so many counter tariffs. So we have had already a very strong response.
Canada didn't retaliate when Trump increased tariffs on steel and aluminum and gave up billions foregoing collection of the digital sales tax after the president ended trade talks over the issue.
Carney's keeping his mind very much on the end game, which is to secure that economic and security framework with the United States.
Since last month, Canada's target for a trade deal has shifted. July 16th quickly became July 21st. And now Canada says the new target is August 1st, before counter tariffs will be applied. But it's the day before that deadline that could make all the difference. That's when the U.S. Supreme Court is set to decide if Trump's executive order tariffs are legal.
The last possible hope for Canada. We can't trust a deal with the president. Our only hope is the courts or Congress. And if we lose the courts, well, then we know where we stand.
The court decision won't impact tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, autos, or copper, all of which were applied under a different measure. Colton Prale, CTV News, Ottawa.
As you just heard, goods that comply with the existing trade agreement will not be affected by the tariff. CTV's Abigail Beeman with more.
It's just so much fun.
The treasure bin at Rainbow Minerals may be fun. The trade war's impact on the small beading and jewelry supply business is not. American products are 25% more expensive, and they've stopped shipping south because the paperwork is too much. Ash Charania says there's lots of confusion and little help, with the new 35% threat making things worse.
The small businesses are being put in the middle as a pawn. And in the game of chess, those are the pieces that are thrown to the side to get to the bigger picture.
And they determine whether your goods qualify as.
The federal government does offer a guide and CUSMA compliance support phone line, though many don't seem to know about it.
The constant changing of the goalposts and the deadlines and the numbers continues, and that's quite toxic for business.
According to U.S. trade data, in 2024, only 38% of Canadian goods entered the U.S. under CUSMA, while RBC estimates 94% of Canadian exports were actually eligible. Experts say it's a matter of businesses not wanting to deal with the paperwork headache, as well as a lack of enforcement at the border.
Perhaps they thought the juice wasn't worth the squeeze because we were still getting into the United States duty and tariff-free. That is no longer the case. And so it is very vital that businesses do it.
In terms of the small list of products not covered by CUSMA, they include a few agricultural goods and some textiles, and others that don't meet the rules of origin requirements.
The vast majority of Canadian exports do qualify for tariff and duty-free to the United States.
Experts say getting that CUSMA certification is crucial as everyone waits to see what President Trump's final decision on tariffs may be. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Scam text messages on your phones are getting harder to detect because scammers are turning to artificial intelligence to make their bogus messages seem more legit. CTV's John Venevali-Rao has more on the so-called smishing attacks.
The latest warning comes from the Competition Bureau, which says more people have been seeing those annoying scam texts pop up, claiming to be from agencies like Revenue Canada, or that you owe money for a toll highway, often including a link that scammers are trying to get you to click on. Janine Compton recently got one claiming she was caught speeding and had to pay a fine, and initially thought it might be real.
I almost got taken, but I didn't click on the link. I don't know what would have happened if I clicked on the link. I did not click. I just blocked the number.
Compton was the target of a scam known as SMS phishing or smishing. The texts often claimed to be from an actual organization or business. And while they used to contain things like spelling errors, making them easier to spot, AI services like ChatGPT are making them harder to detect.
Spelling mistakes used to be a tell, particularly when people had to write these messages themselves, and often it was people who didn't necessarily speak English as their first language.
The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre warns AI can also allow messages to be sent out at a faster rate, and warns scammers are using AI to scrape information about you from the internet.
Some of the messages may include some of your personal information as an extra way to try to convince you that it's a legitimate message, right?
The advice: never click on suspicious links, ignore texts even if asked to reply with stop or no, and forward spam text to 7726 or spam. And of course, delete them to avoid accidental interaction. But as AI technology continues to improve, more people may fall victim, which is why the Anti-Fraud Centre and others want everyone to remain vigilant. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
In other news, a Windsor auto worker says it felt surreal. He was shocked to find out he'd won over $1 million in the lottery. Jeffrey Petrusenko picked up a check for $1.25 million from a draw on May 4th. He says he's been playing the lottery for nearly 15 years and decided to add a daily Keno ticket to his purchase. His plan is to invest the windfall and maybe treat himself to a vacation down the line. Amid renewed tariff threats, North American stock markets moved lower to close the week. In Toronto, the TSX lost 59 points. In New York, the Dow fell 279. The Nasdaq dropped 45. The Canadian dollar unchanged today at 73.08 cents American. And on commodity markets, gold gained more than $38 an ounce. Oil added $1.88 a barrel. A healing code coming up, a breakthrough for a new disease. Researchers are using bone marrow stem cells to create a working gene.
Kicking off your weekend with a heat warning, steamy conditions, and the risk for thunderstorms will linger. Thanks, Robert, for sending this photo in. Temperatures will be hot and humid over the next 7.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
The weekend is here for what we can expect. Let's head to Julie again. Julie.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. I know lots of people want to take advantage of every summer weekend. We like to make plans as Canadians. We need to be outdoors this time of year. If you're one of those people and you're hoping to be outdoors this weekend, you got lots of time to enjoy some sunshine and some heat. However, we do have some thunderstorms to talk about. Temperatures in the upper 20s, close to 30 degrees this afternoon, feeling like the upper 30s. We had that line of scattered showers and thunderstorms move through earlier, and as a result, that put the brakes on the temperature just a bit. Not the humidity, though. If you're outside, you can almost just feel the air. It is thick out there, and it will continue to be like that through the weekend. So as we take a look at the satellite radar, some thunderstorms still bubbling up and through Michigan, the chance for thunderstorms across the area over the next few hours. We do have this wavy frontal boundary coming through. It will lift northward as a warm front. So what that means is the warm air takes over and pushes northward. That puts us right into the warm sector as we head into your Saturday. This low pressure area and cold front, this will be our weather story on Sunday. But first, we're going to get through this little guy. Showers possible heading into the late afternoon tomorrow, and once again the potential for some thunderstorms. As we look across Canada tonight, Western Canada is starting to rebound after some cooler temperatures. Big weather story across the country as the state of emergency issued again in through Manitoba due to the forest fires, and once again widespread air quality warnings in effect. Air quality is extremely poor, and you can see the forest fire smoke. This map reading the black carbon, and you can see it's now seeping eastward across the northern part of northern Ontario, rather towards James Bay, but you can really see it indicated on this graphic tonight. Overnight, 21 to 22 degrees across Essex County. It'll be nice through the overnight, but still extremely warm. It'll still feel like the upper 20s, even below 30s. Heading into your Saturday, 28 by lunchtime, 32 in the afternoon, feeling like 41. About a 40 to a 60% chance, so depending on where you are in the county. And as we look towards 11 o'clock, still some storms pushing through Chatham-Kent, Sarnia, Lambton. Through the day tomorrow, we'll start with beautiful sunshine, and then this is 2 o'clock. So you can see in the southern part of the county, that probability a bit higher. Areas to the north will just get brushed by over Lake St. Clair. You can see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So downtown might get missed. So it'll be one of those weather scenarios where we're in and out of the potential of severe weather. Lots of moisture to work with at those lower levels as well, and that leads to some heavy downpours and intense lightning. So just be prepared. You'll start the day with absolutely beautiful sunshine, but you'll see those clouds building in the afternoon. Our Stiles Heating and Cooling forecast, 30 for Sunday with about a 40% chance of showers, sunshine on Monday. A mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday, daytime highs Monday into Tuesday, 31. It is going to be a hot week. 30 on Wednesday, mainly cloudy with the chance of evening rain. A few showers might put the brakes on the high Thursday to 29 and 28 as we wrap it up with a chance of light rainfall. A hot week ahead, daytime highs 30 to 31, feeling like the low 40s as we move through the weekend. Stephanie, back to you.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
There is a new hope for hundreds in this country living with a rare, dangerous, and painful disease. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth on the Canadian research showing positive results so far.
It's vacation getaway day for Ryan DeVoe and his family. DeVoe may appear healthy, but he lives with Fabry disease, which leaves the body unable to break down fatty materials, which can cause organ damage and a shortened lifespan.
There's a buildup around certain organs like my heart, my kidneys, potentially in my brain, of this stuff that my body can't break down.
For nearly 2 decades, DeVoe relied on enzyme replacement therapy, which required routine trips to a specialist. Enter Dalhousie University's Dr. Michael West, the co-author of groundbreaking research on gene therapy.
We designed a study to look at the feasibility of gene therapy in Fabry disease and also the safety of this procedure. And so we were the first gene therapy trial in Fabry disease.
The trial started in 2016 and involved 5 patients, including DeVoe. To put it in simple terms, researchers didn't treat the gene linked to Fabry disease. They instead used stem cells from bone marrow to produce a copy of a normal gene.
And after 6 years, we still have evidence that the new gene is still in these patients and still working.
Ryan DeVoe says participating in this research trial has already simplified the process of his medical treatment and has improved the overall quality of his life.
Over the course of a couple of months, you put in a lot of work with it as a patient, and then it's done.
3 of the 5 patients in the trial stopped enzyme therapy, which is also cost-effective.
And that saved us about $3.7 million.
Gene therapy research needs more testing before it becomes conventional medical treatment. There is no cure for Fabry disease, but DeVoe says this latest trial has improved his health. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
The Earth is spinning faster now that we're past the summer solstice. CTV Pauline Chan shows us how much time in a day we are losing and when.
It's nothing a human being could detect, but July 9th was the shortest day since modern records began.
The day was shortened by 1.3 milliseconds because the Earth was spinning on its axis just ever so slightly faster than usual.
Neuroscientist Sam Yamin explains.
There are a lot of different things that change the speed that the Earth rotates. One of them is the gravitational relationship between the Earth and the Moon.
The Moon affects the Earth's tidal forces, and she likens it to a figure skater spinning.
Pulling their arms inwards towards their axis, that makes them speed up the spin, and that's what happens to the Earth.
The development of super-sensitive technology is what allows us to detect these minute changes, in particular the atomic clock. But shorter days have been going on for, well, ages.
In the Triassic era, 200 million years ago, the length of a day was 23 hours. And in another 200 million years in the future, it could go up to 25 hours long.
And losing a millisecond or more will happen again this summer.
On July 22nd, the Earth will lose 1.38 milliseconds of the day because it'll be spinning faster. And a similar thing on August 5th, the day will be shortened by 1.51 milliseconds.
Yamin says Earth-based measurements like sea levels, tidal forces, and satellite data help scientists predict these minuscule changes. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
An invasive pest is wreaking havoc on Windsor Gardens' box tree moths. Coming up in our Get Gardening segment, Gary has some suggestions on how to deal with them.
Multi-platinum classical group Il Divo returns to the Coliseum stage with their By Candlelight Tour Friday, October 10th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Il Divo at Caesars Windsor, plus a $250 gift card.
Summer is in full swing, but if you're still deciding on where to spend your vacation, perhaps a new song will sway you. Canadian Land by Kevin Westphal encourages people to stay local this summer and explore all that Canada has to offer. Here's CTV's Alexandra Hollick with the message behind the music.
I'm packing my bags, taking these white legs, traveling Canadian land.
Kevin Westfall is one proud Canuck.
I'm really proud to be from Kitchener. I'm proud to be from Ontario. And I'm a real proud Canadian.
The musician puts his pride on display through his music, and his latest song, Canadian Land, is no exception.
I had this one written and recorded back a few years back when our dollar went really low. And I wrote it, and I never did anything with it.
But recent trade tensions between Canada and the U.S. inspired Westfall to take a stand.
I thought, you know what, I'm going to take that song. Now's the time to do a video and get it out there.
We wanted to make it really Canadiana. And I mean, the whole song is based on Canadians traveling this summer or in the winter and being tourists in Canada.
I can't afford to roam too far from home with the dollar down real low.
The upbeat track takes aim at affordability and a low exchange rate.
I won't lose $40 on 100, not with my holiday plan.
Encouraging listeners to localize their summer travel.
And I'll see the pretty of every town and city as I tour Ontario.
I could never understand why anybody would want to go anywhere else for a vacation.
Canadians are looking to travel at home because they are reconsidering going to other locations because of the trade dispute.
Ontario's Tourism Industry Association says its members have seen an increase in local bookings and business.
Canadians and Ontarians are looking to spend differently and they're looking to support local.
While Westfall says he's been known to make playful tunes, he's serious about his message.
We have to keep this the best place in the world to live, and I think we will.
I'll be packing my bags, taking these white legs and traveling Canadian land.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
What's going on with this particular moth?
Is this interesting or is this horrifying? Not so sure. So it's an invasive pest called box tree moth, and a number of gardeners have had trouble with this. In fact, we've actually lost many of our boxwood in Windsor because of it. And we'll take a look at some boxwood today.
Well, what do we have in front of us? And give us a sign, point out that boxwood and where we might be seeing some of that stress.
Absolutely. So again, we've got a beautiful hedge of boxwood here with some new growth on it. It's not suffering from box tree moth. We did a good check there, which I encourage all of our homeowners to do. Checking right in the foliage to see if there is a small green caterpillar in there. There is not here, which is great. You might see there's a little bit of brown there, and that's probably more from winter damage, so not to be concerned about. However, please monitor. Please take a look at your boxwood very carefully, because these insects, they can devastate box plant very rapidly. And the treatment is called BTK, which is a kind of natural occurring bacteria, and it's quite safe to use around pets and people. So we do have a control, but have it on stock and have it ready if you have boxwood.
Let's get a closer look at some boxwood. We'll follow you there. Give us an idea of a good, healthy looking part of the plant itself and what you would want to see at this time of the year.
Well, that's a great point. So here, I guess in comparison, we can see very good lush growth. It's quite full. There's good density on the plant. Down here, we probably are seeing just a little bit of winter damage. This could be from cold, but could also be from some salt. A little bit of salt probably damaged this during the winter months. But again, we did take a good look in here, and we did not find box tree moth in there. So that is really good news.
We want to hear from you. Do you have a comment or a question, an idea for a great story? Text us at 10400. You can send photos and video now too.
I like you.
Unscripted, unpredictable, and unapologetic. Wake up with Hannah and Johnny on 93.9 Virgin Radio.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Amherstburg Open Air Weekends are back every Friday through Sunday through August 31st. Enjoy vendor markets, open patios, and shopping, plus games and live entertainment. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Melanie, you have a heads up for drivers taking EC Row over the next 2 weeks.
That's right. Park staff will be cutting grass along the expressway beginning this weekend. Work is slated to get underway on Saturday and take about 2 weeks. Crews will be working from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. weather permitting. Drivers should watch out for rolling lane closures. Work will begin with the medians and move to the shoulders and ramps. We've got the latest on Easy Road construction online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have a story online, Melanie, for anyone looking for something to do.
Yes, the region is packed with events over the next few days. Catch live music, explore farmers markets, explore a Y2K dance cruise, or test your skills in an immersive escape room. We've posted a full list of what's happening this weekend on our website. And if you have any photos or events to add, email us at ctvwindsorweb@bellmedia.ca. And in our social spotlight, fans of the old video game Frogger might like this one. Oh yeah, even though the caption says when someone clearly has too much time on their hands, I think it's pretty clever, and they're doing a great job dodging those cars with their shadow, Stefanie. Well, that is until one of them changed lanes on them.
Melanie, I'm sure you know I'm not a huge fan of video games, but this is something I would promote and enjoy doing myself.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how they thought of it, but it's pretty cool.
Okay, thank you, Melanie, and that's what's happening now. Helping without hesitation. No bills, no questions, just kindness. When we return, one man says that's what Canadians do. Julie joins us again for a final look tonight.
Thanks so much. The chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms continue this evening, Stefanie. Heading into tomorrow, we'll start the day beautiful with sunshine by the late afternoon, storm clouds building and the potential for some severe weather. 30 on Sunday with a chance of showers lingering. That'll be that front coming in from the northwest, although it doesn't bring a break in our temperature. Sunshine for Monday, 31 on Tuesday under a mix of sun and cloud, and 30 heading into Wednesday. So a hot and steamy weekend, a heat warning in effect. If you do suffer from heat-related illness, you spend a lot of time outdoors and you notice you're affected by the heat, please be careful if you are planning to be outdoors, and avoid strenuous outdoor activity in the heat of the day. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Julie. Ricardo, you're working tonight on a good news story.
Yeah, great news story. We're heading to Leamington tonight, Stefanie, to catch up with a couple of kids being hailed as heroes, and for good reason. Two teens rushed to the rescue of a man who fell off his Sea-Doo and was floundering in Lake Erie. Our Travis Fortnum is catching up with this dynamic duo and the training that helped them save a life. We've got that story and, of course, much more on the way tonight at 11.
Okay, and finally for us tonight, that's what Canadians do. Those four simple words proved to be life-changing for one overwhelmed by adversity. CTV's Adam Swatsky explains.
Well, it's not unusual to find people camping like this over the summer. Glenn is not.
Yeah, I've kind of had a weird life.
After being diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer,
That was pretty scary.
and being rent-evicted from his home of 18 years,
At times I felt like quitting.
Glenn Edgeworth and his cats, Jack and Ollie, found themselves living in an RV along busy streets.
There's a big crack in the pavement, so all you hear all day, all night is tunk, 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 tunk.
After living like that for a year, Glenn received this notice prohibiting him from parking there, which meant he had nowhere else to go.
It was pretty devastating.
It made the news, and Glenn was featured in multiple media reports, which inspired a few people to offer parking spots at a price before one knocked on his door offering a place for free.
And I tried to give him $100, and he's like, "No, I don't need that."
When Glenn asked why, the man who wishes to remain anonymous answered with 4 words.
That's what Canadians do.
And this, it turns out, is not a campsite. This is Glenn's new home.
I was literally in tears over it.
While he struggled to fall asleep that first night because it was too quiet,
Because I was listening to the humming of my fridge. I haven't heard that in so long.
Glenn celebrated waking up the next morning to the sounds of so many new neighbors.
Birds chirping.
And this deer, he's named Bambi.
What do you think
he was saying to you?
Welcome to the hood.
Where Jack and Ollie can sit safely outside, and Glenn can find solace.
And I'm really grateful for my own situation, but I don't see the story stopping here.
Once he gets settled, Glenn is hoping to pay it forward by using his phone to record others experiencing homelessness and sharing their stories on his YouTube channel.
Realizing other people's humanity.
And connect people who need help with those who can help.
And doing what Canadians do.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Imagine if every single one of us had one little, moment that we can do that just shows this is what Canadians do. There would be a lot of positivity.
Yeah, it's, there are simple things that we can do to help each other out. And when you can find an opportunity to do that, like this, anonymous person did, it's a great thing to do. And hey, what great digs he's got as well. He gets to say hi to Bambi every day.
Camping around the 24 hours.
Beautiful scene.
Yeah. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
You can find updates anytime online over on our website. That is, of course, ctvnewswindsor.ca. And I'll see you again tonight for a late look at local news at 11.
Good night.